Welcome back to the Fish Cave, guys. Today we're taking a closer look at the tank that you guys picked. That's right, from the Viewer's Choice poll last week, you guys selected the 20-gallon blue shrimp and mystery snail tank. And unfortunately for me, it's at the bottom of the rack system. So I'm gonna get my big butt on the ground. Let's take a closer look. So here it is, guys, the shrimp and snail wonderland. This is a 20-gallon long here at the bottom of the rack system. And believe it or not, I believe this is just one clutch of mystery snails. And I was never really good at those games where you kind of guess how many jelly beans are in the jar. So I have no idea how many baby snails are in here, but I would at least say a few dozen, probably between 50 and 100 maybe. I'm not really good at that, but I've been piling green beans as much as possible into this tank and doing extra water changes. As you can see, there's a pretty healthy population of these blue shrimp. I'm not sure if you want to call them a blue dream, a celestial blue. I think I actually bought them as like a celestial blue. They're not the most straight strain of shrimp. I think they're cool looking. They spit out some black, but mostly blue, and kind of a range from this kind of a mid, I'd say that's like a more of a mid darkness. Some of them are a little lighter. There's some pretty decently dark blues in here as well. But overall, this tank has been doing pretty good. Like a lot of my tanks, I got a little bit of dirt on the bottom and then just some inert, like kind of cap. I forget what this is. This is not the pool filter sand, I don't think, but this is just some basic, nothing fancy substrate. But like I said, I do have some just potting soil dirt on the bottom, which is why you see some of this dwarf hairgrass, doing decent. I got some moss on the back of this wood right here. I believe this is some Java moss. I have issues with Java moss. In some tanks it does well. This is one of the better tanks, I'd say. Then you got some guppy grass just kind of floating. What I usually do is I'll stick a bunch of plants. What my theory is, I try out different plants in different tanks, see what kind of takes off and see what works for me. I also have a little bit of Sawasser tang here. I put a little tiny bit in a few tanks. It's notoriously grows super slow. I'm not sure, I think it's grown a little bit in this tank, but it definitely hasn't really taken off, so to speak. There's a few other plants in here. There's a little dwarf aquarium lily down here. If you guys aren't familiar with a dwarf aquarium lily, I definitely recommend you pick one up. Usually they're between like $5-6 at the store. This one isn't growing that big, but it's one of the easiest plants to grow in low to medium light with that gets like kind of red leaves. And it's also just cool because it will shoot lily pads up to the top every once in a while. So in my opinion, you guys are just starting out with plants and you want something that's not green. A dwarf aquarium lily is like perfect for that. I also threw some floating plants in here. I kind of brung some floating plants in from the tubs outside. If you guys have been following me for a while, we got some summer tubs outside. We're gonna do that again this summer and try some new things out there. I think I had some issues with the rainwater and kind of actually getting some low TDS water out there, which was not good for the cherry shrimp, although I did have some success. But for this summer coming up, got a few plans to take advantage of potentially that softer water. Since I don't have soft water, I realized that maybe those tubs I could do some soft water fish, so definitely stay tuned for that. But anyway, there's some Salvinia calcutta floating up here. Some of the plants just, I think, lack of nutrients, and it got a little cold outside, so I brought a lot of the floating plants inside. I believe these crypts are just like the common brown Wendeti or green Wendeti. You can see there's a few. There's one back there, there's one there, and then I got one kind of peeking back over there. I did throw a little bit of Java fern in here, but it really didn't take off, which, surprise for me. Although I was talking with a local fish friend, my friend Chris, shout out to Chris, and he was telling me that with some of the Java fern, I may have some iron issues, so I'm gonna look to supplement some additional iron. I really wanna, I still consider myself pretty much a novice when it comes to these plants. This is actually a different type of crypt, I believe. I think that's a crypt parva. Let me know down below. It's kind of like in between this dwarf aquarium lily. But I'm still pretty much a novice when it comes to plants. I know I kind of do the basics, and if it works for me, it works for me. But I really want to start kind of getting into, deficiencies and making sure, they have everything they need and maximizing it. And not anytime soon, and definitely not in all these tanks. But I think I want to set up one tank to work with some CO2 and see how that works, because I know CO2 would be very beneficial. I haven't really played around with it yet. It's definitely something I want to look into. I'm not really sure if I want to go the DIY route I definitely, I'm not opposed to DIY stuff, but with the CO2, I may just end up going with like a cheaper setup, but not DIY. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have done a DIY, what you would recommend. Do you think it's worth it for DIY in this? I'm a big DIY guy, but I also understand that, you can't DIY everything, and some things are just better off, paying for, not doing yourself. Just like all the tanks in the rack system, this is run by a simple sponge filter here. And you can see that there's a little line in, that's where the automatic drip system enters, and that's the overflow right there. As far as shrimp tanks go, this one has done decent for me. The blue shrimp have never been as prolific breeders for me as the red cherry shrimp, but the blue has been much better for me than the yellow. But the red and the orange seem to do the best for me. There are some buried shrimp in here. The population is doing well. And like I said, the mystery snails, they kind of hatched out just a few weeks ago now. So I've been just, power feeding this tank with tons and tons of green beans, feeding some zucchini as well. The parents to these snails were both blue, but as you can see, they do spit out some of these white ones as well, which I've hatched out another clutch and it was the same. So whatever the genes are for these blue snails, that white snail is definitely, or that white gene is in there. But as you can see, the vast majority of them are these, these blue mystery snails, and they look really cool. They're my favorite type. These ones and the purple ones, which you don't see that often, are my favorite type of mystery snail. So I'm lucky to have these guys. If you want me to do a video on how to specifically breed them, drop a comment down below and let me know. It's not that difficult. Unlike other snails, they actually lay their eggs like above the water. That's actually the remnants of their the clutch. And this is just one clutch, like I said. As far as I know, there's only one clutch. There's other clutches that I knocked down and other tanks that I knocked down because I'm familiar with how many snails can come out of one clutch. Locally, I've been selling some cherry shrimp and some plants, and I think mystery snails just kind of go hand in hand with that. So that's my goal, and probably, this is gonna be my last batch for a while because, that's a lot of mystery snails. But I'm really gonna focus on trying to get these blue shrimp to keep breeding out. I have 2 tanks going now, the blue shrimp, this 20-gallon, and there's another 10-gallon where I originally had them in, and I took some of the better looking ones and put them in here. So long term, I'm just gonna keep this tank probably just a blue shrimp and blue mystery snail tank. There was some calico bristlenose plecos in here that I recently moved out across the way. So I may put something else in here. Obviously, the bio load in here is not too bad. With the snails, it overloads it. But once these snails grow up and they're not in here anymore, I may add something else to go along with these cherry shrimp. I know some of you guys are here for the giveaway that we announced last week for the 1-year anniversary video. We're gonna be giving away a few packages of plants and some other cool stuff. So let's jump to that right now. All right, guys, so I got the video loaded and I filtered for duplicate comments. That way everyone gets an equal shot. Looks like there's 104 unique commenters. So like I said in the last video, there's gonna be 3 winners. A big shout out to Mermaid and Pirate Aquarium for the 3 Save-A-Fishies. And then a huge shout out to Aquascaping Supply here in Orlando, brand new local fish store, for donating. They actually donated 3 Christmas moss ledges, 3 pieces of cholla wood, and 3 kind of bunches of Hygrophila overlialis. I'm probably butchering that name, but really cool stem plant I never seen before. So there's gonna be 3 lucky winners, and I'm gonna get in contact with those of you guys that wanted a free sticker international. If you haven't heard from me yet, don't worry, you're gonna get your stickers. So without further ado, guys, let's start and pick the first winner. The first winner, congratulations to, and remember, you have to pick and tell me what your first fish was. Fantastic fish. The first fish I ever kept was a Shabunkin goldfish that I named Fast Donkey. Awesome. All right, fantastic, congratulations. You are the winner of one of the packages. If I could figure out, I'll pick another winner. So the second winner, let's go. And the second winner of 3 is going to be Jurian Hereg. First fish was a pea puffer. Great vid, keep up the good work. Hey, thanks Jurian, I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'll be in touch with you and get your contact information so we can send out a package. And the third winner, drum roll please. Congratulations to Jezter's Aquariums. Hair looks great. Haha, congrats on the 1-year anniversary. Definitely agree about the community. Great people so far. Love your videos. Please keep up the great work. You've helped me so much. Congratulations, Jester. I'll go get in touch with you as well. And a big thank you to all 3 of the winners and everyone else out there who participated. I appreciate the continued support from all you guys out there. It means a lot to me. I'm really excited. I got some really cool tours planned. We're gonna do a fish room tour of the fish cave this Sunday, but I got some really cool, exciting stuff that is in the works that I didn't really think would be possible. So I'm excited, really excited to bring that to you. Stay tuned. As always, guys, stay positive and stay passionate.